Hello everyone. So my name is Maria Cernea and I'm a 21-year-old master's student at HUB University here in Brussels. And together with my brother I'm founding the company 3D Finding. But before we arrive to that, let's go back a little bit to the creation of the world. The new world, I mean. The computers and the internet. Because they really revolutionized the way that the ground for human activity and the way we interact with the far world. Time and space constraints are no longer really relevant. And it is in this context that we've been brought face to face to a new and more exciting challenge, that is to break the wall between reality and virtuality. You know, just imagine the possibility to explore and interact with the world from behind your computer screen as naturally as you would do in real life. And it's quite a long journey to achieving that, but we believe we are at the beginning. So 3D Finding uses the most innovative technology of multi-view 3D reconstruction to automatically build the 3D model of real-life objects directly from photographs. And to illustrate this better, I'm going to show you a very short video. So these are the photos of the statue that were taken, from which the software was able to automatically generate the 3D model, which you can see here. It's quite a breakthrough in technology, and using this, we want to address the need for art digitization and digital content building. As I said, I'm a passionate of art, and I believe that art is the most powerful expression of the human spirit, of our human spirit. And so it has to become globally accessible as a source of inspiration and knowledge. Unfortunately, until today, Europe's museums have digitized only 25% of their collections, and that has only happened in a 2D format, so photographs. And as you know, photographs are an end product themselves. They are the final product. They can't really be used for other purposes. So we want to offer a solution for fast and accurate 3D reconstruction of the artworks, which then open the gate for a wide variety of usage, from educational to touristic platforms and engines, or your television productions, or even templates for 3D printing. And to make everything nice and easy, we want to offer, and actually this is our focus, we want to offer museums a complete range of services by sending an on-site specialist to take the necessary photos of the artworks to be constructed in 3D, process them through our pipeline reconstruction, and then handle the final 3D models together with a platform that enables the full visualization at a click of a button, without third parties' plugins, because we all hate them. And to give you some interesting figures, in Europe alone there are 17,500 museums, more or less, which accommodate no less than 10 million statues. And the cost of their digitization in a simple 2D format is estimated at 1 billion euros. And that is a simple 2D format. The cost of digitizing them in a 3D format with this technology is not much higher. Instead, as I said, it offers wide possibilities for commercialization. So it's a much wiser way of investing this money, because the cost of digitization, in fact, becomes an investment. Yes, they are no longer a cost. Over the past 10 years, I believe, the European Commission alone invested millions and hundreds of millions in cultural institutions for them to digitize their collections and make them available to the public. They invested 150 million in the eContent Plus platform alone. So the opportunity is clear, the benefits are clear as well. The solution, the viable solution, we have it. We just want to get round to work. And so my question today is, you know, museums, they are public institutions. They are highly bureaucratized. It's quite hard to get them round to work. It's quite hard to engage them in a project. So do you suggest a method for us to be able to speed up this process and get them working with us faster? Thank you.
Well done. I think there's a very interesting business model here. I'm not quite sure whether you're coming at it as it being a business model, or are you just trying to provide a service or to promote art. But from a business perspective here, I mean, how do you approach museums? Well, the obvious way to do it is, well, I'll come in, the business 3 Defining will come in and do a 3D digital, will do it for free, so it doesn't cost the museum anything. The difficulty with that is, how do you actually fund the business? I'm not sure the museums have a budget that they could afford to pay you, so you need to find a way of A, providing that service to the museums for free, but B, obviously running a viable business yourself. Again, clearly, I think what you're doing is the 3D aspect is a very interesting aspect, but I would think you need to find a way to monetize, or you've got to be able to monetize your own services. In the way that Google, for example, comes along and will take photographs of cities and streets, but they will be selling advertising on the side of every page. So how do you approach potential customers? I think you've got to go, and certainly for the initial museums, we'll do this for free for your museum, your museum will have everything done, but the bit we need to find a way to monetize that, or so that your business, the 3 Defining, is able to fund that technology itself. And that, I think, will be the challenge. What do you think?
Well,
yep. I presume at the moment the business is, we want the museums to pay you to do, or to provide this service for them, is it?
Yes, or another possibility would have been to offer training, because museums already have their own photographs, so we would offer training to them, and then we would only ask them to pay for the reconstruction. So we would reconstruct them through our pipeline, because it's much faster, obviously. Not every museum forced to hire cloud computing to do that. And yeah, so that was the second option. Actually, museums, I think they have money, and they are allocating quite a significant percentage of their budget for digitization. As I said, it's quite a priority right now. The only problem, I think, is how to access them, because they are public institutions and they are quite hard to access not as a foreigner, but
yeah.
But
the difficulty you'll have is, I've had some dealings with museums over the years. I've never yet come across a museum that had any money. They're always short of money. The budget gets eaten up every year. Either if they have any spare money, they want to buy some new work of art or buy something new, or otherwise it gets eaten up with just the payroll or of all the people they have running around. You will find it very difficult as an entrepreneur walking in the door and say, we'll digitize your artwork, but you pay us.
Or again, another possibility would have been, yes, to do it for free for museums and then sell the 3D content to platforms like engines, game engines, or touristic platforms or things like that.
Again, you'll find museums are remarkably reluctant to allow somebody else to sell their kind of digitized artwork. They get very proprietorial about it. I think I think there's a real business opportunity in here. But I think you need to find a way to monetize the services that you provide. 3 Defining, I presume, has its own website. Yes. And the plan would be you'd provide this service to the museums, but you would also, so the museum would have all of its artwork on its own website in 3D format, but 3 Defining would have it as well. I think if you could share it, there's a real opportunity for you to, come at it, to do something a la a Google or one of the search engines, become the artwork search engine, but to monetize that service by selling advertising, selling commercial products on a menu down on the right-hand side or something. And ultimately, I think this is the kind of thing that someone like a Google or someone like a search engine would want to move into that space, would want to provide the kind of service that 3 Defining would provide. And if you can, get a lead there, but I think ultimately the only way you're going to get into potential museums to start with would be to do 1 or 2 for free.
We already plan to do that.
Then I think that's the way you'll get the public sector on board. My experience of ever dealing with the public sector is the magic word is free. Bureaucrats almost don't have to make a decision when you tell them we'll do this for free, we'll do it for nothing. As long as somebody's not going to lose their jobs in the bureaucracy, that is the magic word. And I think if you get 1 or 2 on board first, get the couple of, the startup ones, that then will give you the platform to go forward. But I would really urge you, you're still in college here in Brussels, talk to the people, the IT section, how you could monetize this product, how you could sell advertising, you know, on a hit per hit basis. People commented every hit you'd get a fee from. And I can see, you know, there's lots of tourism people that would want to be selling access to those museums. You know, click here if you want to visit that museum, see the real artwork. I think there's a real tourism upside in that, or that would help you to monetize it. The key thing, but internet is great for great ideas. Monetizing them is always the most difficult aspect. You've got a brilliant product, you've got a brilliant idea here. What you really need to focus on now is how can I monetize that so that I can pay for the expansion of the 3 defining service, the website, and ultimately flog it to Google for billions.
Thank you for the feedback.
Very good. Thank you very much, Michael. I was just thinking maybe she should start with Monica Piss in 3D. No? Would that be a good idea?
Right, I think you need 4D for the mannequin piss. There's bits of them are very small.
Okay. It doesn't work. You can't do Monica Piss in 3D. Thanks very much, Maria. We move on to Christophe van Steen from Belgium. Studied at the University of Brussels, living near Antwerp, and since many years working in the packaging and bottling industry. And I think if you have to summarize what he's doing, it's about water. And he will explain us what he wants to do with water, he's already doing with water, and how he makes money out of it and improves the quality of life for many people. Christophe, you have the floor.
Christophe.